The Niners just signed George Odum. I didn't know who he was when they signed him. He was an all-pro special teamer. He started 10 games at safety. So what my first reaction is, the Niners are going to start Talanoa Hufanga next year at strong safety. They are not bringing it. I mean, this guy will compete with them. He started 10 games, but they didn't bring this guy in to start. Like, that's wild to me because Jaquiski Tartt is better than Talanoa Hufanga, and they're willing to go like downgrade, which is strange. I mean, a team that's in the NFC Championship game, that close to going to the Super Bowl, you think was just like trying to find marginal upgrades here and there. But no, they're really content, it looks like, to start Talanoa Hufanga at strong safety. Wow. What do you think about and it's not just that, right? It's like Aaron Banks is going to be a starter next year too. Based on what? Aaron Banks. And I guess if you're really cynical, you could say the same thing about the quarterback. Like, really, you're just going to go to Trey Lance? What has he shown you? So it seems like the Niners are taking a leap of faith on a lot of young guys this year, which is a 180. Like, they didn't trust any young guys last year. It was Josh Norman Central last year. This is crazy to me. What do you think?
On the positive side, perhaps they have learned from their mistakes. Perhaps this will be a growth year as an organization and as far as the coaches go. Perhaps they're like, look, we can't just spend in free agency and bring a Super Bowl caliber team together around a rookie quarterback. Because if it doesn't work, we are shafted the next year when he should take a leap forward. But if he wants to go out and have himself a Patrick Mahomes style year, more power to him. We'll win a Super Bowl with it. But I think the Niners are looking at this as it's a prayer that we win our division. It's a prayer that we go deep into the postseason, let alone get to a Super Bowl game.
And it was improbable that they made it that far last year. They were 3-5 last year. They had to go on a crazy run. Yep.
Absolutely. And they were beating teams that had thumped them earlier in the year. So that was incredible. Some people might say, let's build off that. But I think the Niners are realizing, no, we have to let some pieces go in order to, a year from now, be able to bring other pieces back in. The other thing is the draft and everything. The Niners have gotten some good value picks from the 5th round on, historically, even like undrafted free agents. It's very possible that, yes, they bring in a special teamer like this because our special teams was miserable. It's a weakness. Ray McLeod was brought in as a ST returner, basically, an ace for that. A rotational receiver if necessary. So you've got that guy there, and you've got this guy coming in. That, to me, that checks the boxes on special teams. I think that's one of the motivations. The other one is I think in the draft, the Niners will actually be drafting a safety. I do, absolutely.
Okay.
Not high, but I foresee a safety in anywhere from maybe the 3rd round on. More likely the 4th round on.
Okay. All right. Well,
so I think that's what they're doing.
But they also have Tavarius Moore, too. Don't forget about him. They have guys, and they're going to give him a chance. I don't know. I think
chance is not always the best thing, but I think it goes back to what I'm saying. You can't just get free agents to come in here and win for Trey Lance. You need him to win as well. And if he does, this team goes far. If not, then you will have just wasted money. And so last year, we were barking about the fact they were not giving Lenoir and Thomas and Banks and Sermon reps or Lance reps, however. And we feel it retarded their progress. And so here we are this year, having to go out and run them out there in mass and hope that they can get the experience. So really, we could be a Super Bowl caliber team next year, the year after, and be competitive in, say, the 4th and 5th year.
Yeah.
They have to do this. I think it's wise.
Nathan says this is a firing offense for Kyle and John, keeping Jimmy, not freeing $25 million to help with the signings and Debo and Bo's extensions. Yeah, man, I don't get it. Like when the Chiefs transitioned from Alex Smith to Patrick Mahomes, they traded Alex Smith first thing in the offseason. They used that cap space to sign Sammy Watkins. They backed their quarterback, and they'd only seen one start from Patrick Mahomes. The Niners are like, we're going to need – to me, it's like a very conservative fear of the unknown. Like, you got to take a leap of faith and give this guy the best supporting cast possible, and they're going to have $27 million on the bench as his backup. That's not fair. And really, it wasn't fair to Jimmy last year to have a first-round pick on the bench. Like, you need to commit to a quarterback and give him a chance to have the best team possible.
Jimmy Garoppolo with a high-drafted offensive lineman that could have contributed, we might have gone to the Super Bowl.
Right. It's not fair.
Trey Lance playing last year, we might go to the Super Bowl this year. Right. You might see more spending. You might see different draft needs addressed and things like that. This is, I agree with you. It's really weird that when you look at how the Chiefs committed to Mahomes, why are you spending so much draft capital that, by the way, we could have used this year to bolster Jimmy? I do actually believe that a superstar team around it, a Bob Greasy or whatever, can go to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Jimmy Garoppolo's been there. So I don't like having him over Trey Lance, but I can see how you can win with Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't see the point of having them together.
No, it's like the Niners have been searching for a second-round pick or 2 second-round picks for Jimmy Garoppolo for 12 months, a calendar year, and they're going to make it 2. Crazy to me. Also, they could get a couple of second-round picks. Great. That's the while the Rams are getting Allen Robinson and all these teams are getting like all pros left and right, the Niners are going to get a couple of 2s, and that's going to be the big payoff after 2 years of wasting this cap space. Like 2 2s. Whoop-de-freaking do. Teams are making much bigger moves than that. That's not a game changer. I'm sorry.
No, and it really affects the draft strategy as well, because they're gonna have to bundle. I do think they are going to have to trade up, and that puts a lot of pressure on that pick as well as getting it correct. And if they whiff on that, then they're even further set back. A lot of pressure going into this draft.
Elijah says Jimmy Garoppolo, the Panthers, they only have Sam Darnold and Cam Newton. This would happen, but I doubt it. The best place for him is the Colts. I don't see why the Panthers would want Jimmy Garoppolo. Like, I don't know. I don't see that at all.
They don't seem particularly sold on Sam Darnold. I mean, they'd have to axe both those options and completely commit to Jimmy as a bridge and draft someone. And that's possible.
They still have Darnold, though. And now you're going to bring in more money at quarterback? I'm tripping. I don't know. Don't they get rid of Jimmy in order to extend Debo and Bosa? Maybe they don't have to. Maybe they don't have to. I don't know. Doesn't seem like they want to.
He might have something up his sleeve. He's really good at this kind of thing. But again, I don't think it's just about freeing up the cap for the extensions. I think it's freeing up the cap in general for having some mobility and flexibility with your roster. There's just no point of having 2 basically franchise quarterbacks on a team. Carrying that does not make sense. Not at this point. And the thing is, what are they going to do? Are they going to roll out sub packages for Trey Lance? They didn't do it last year. So we can't have another year of that. If Trey Lance doesn't mix in with Jimmy because they keep Jimmy, then I would start looking at him as a forcible draft bust, to make him sit on the bench for 2 years and not get mixed in. So that means that Jimmy will just be sitting there, I hope, doing nothing.
Yeah.
For $25 million. I mean, that's a pretty good job.